pretty informal process. If any of you have ever spoke before City Council, and there's a few of you that I see out there from my City Council days in the way back. This is a matter simply of coming up to the microphone here. We would like for you to fill out, or you need to fill out, a witness slip. And Lisa Griffin here to my left is going to just have you fill out that slip so we know who testified, and we can have that as part of our record here. Come up to the microphone. Some of you may have written testimony. Of course, we'll accept that. And some of you may just want to speak. That's fine too, however it is. Some of you may only want to submit the written testimony. And we've had that at several of our hearings also before that. Okay. I think I've done everything my staff has told me to do so far. Senator Faber, you are the hometown senator here also. Do you have any remarks for the public before we start?
I think Matt summarized it nicely. I want to welcome everybody to the Lima version of our public around the state tour. I want to welcome my Senate colleagues to Lima, the heart of the 12th Senate District. This is an informal process, as Representative Huffman noted. One of the things that we particularly enjoy hearing is local perspectives on what the districts mean and what concerns you have locally. And so we'll look forward to that. If there are things you believe that didn't get submitted, you can always submit those after the hearing as well. Both committees will accept testimony through our staffs that will be incorporated into the record to the extent it's possible. So with that, Matt, I think we're ready to go.
Thank you, Senator. This hearing is scheduled until 12 o'clock. Right now we have 4 witnesses. I know that there are a couple of people who told me they were going to testify that aren't here yet, but we'll continue the hearing until all the witnesses who are here have an opportunity to testify. I don't think we'll have a time issue unless 25 people show up that aren't here already. Generally speaking, we're asking folks to make their remarks in a situation where we have plenty of time, between 5 and 10 minutes. Of course, some of our eager representatives and senators may have questions for you, and so that may go beyond that time. So, however it is, obviously, the point of this is to have as much public input as possible. We did not actually go around and have everyone introduce themselves, so we should do that. So we'll start with the House Representative Combs.
Thank you, Matt. My name is Courtney Combs. I'm from southwest Butler County, which is between Cincinnati Dade and the 54th District.
I'm Representative Tom Letson from the 64th District, which is about half of Trumbull County, and I am the ranking minority member of the House Committee.
I'm Cheryl Grossman. I serve as the Assistant Majority Whip in the Ohio House. I represent the 23rd District, which is western portion of Franklin County, Grove City, Hilliard, and portions of Dublin.
I'm State Representative Vernon Sykes in the 44th District in Akron, Ohio.
I'm State Representative Kathleen Clyde, representing the 68th District, which is most of Portage County, and I come from Kent.
I'm Representative Mike Davila from the 18th District in the southwest part of Cuyahoga County, and I'm from Berea.
And I'm Matt Huffman from 4th District, which is all of Allen County.
Keith Faber from the 12th District, which is here in west central Ohio. I live in Salina, which is about 35, 40 minutes away.
I'm Senator Scott Olseger from North Canton, Ohio. I represent the 29th District, which is most of Stark County, Canton, Massillon area.
I am State Senator Michael Skindo. I represent the 23rd Senate District, which includes the west side of Cleveland and western and southwestern suburbs.
I'm Shirley Smith, State Senator from the 21st District in Cleveland.
Okay. Thank you, Representatives and Senators. If there's nothing else in terms of housekeeping, our first witness from the League of Women Voters of the Lima area, Judy Gilbert. Over here.
Good morning. I'm Judy Gilbert, President of the League of Women Voters of the Lima area. Thank you for for the opportunity to provide public testimony on this important issue. In our state, we again find ourselves at a critical juncture regarding apportionment of voter districts following the most recent census. Unfortunately, redistricting in Ohio continues to be a political football tossed back and forth to favor one political party over the other. In 1971 and 1981, redistricting maps were drawn by the Democrats. Both times, the maps undermined the intent of voters and advantaged the Democratic Party. In 1991 and 2001, redistricting maps were drawn by the Republicans. Both times, the maps undermined the intent of voters and advantaged the Republican Party. Districts were drawn to artificially promote one political party by packing the voters of the opposition party into very few districts, splitting up areas that would naturally produce districts favoring one party and or dividing communities. In this system, politicians pick their voters instead of letting voters pick their politicians. Redistricting should reflect the values of voters, not the values of a political party. The League of Women Voters has a long history of supporting a redistricting plan founded on equitable apportionment based on population. The League encourages redistricting reform at the state level, favors a nonpartisan mathematical distributing plan, opposes political racial gerrymandering, and supports transparency for the apportionment board selection process. The League supports drawn districts that fully comply with the Voting Rights Act, are compact, competitive, respectful of political subdivisions, and fairly represent the political values of Ohio voters. These are the criteria for a competition recently launched by the Ohio Campaign for Accountable Redistricting, in which the League is a partner. Public citizens can go online and draw Ohio legislative and congressional districts using publicly available software and 2010 census data. Prizes will be awarded to winners, and the Ohio Campaign for Accountable Redistricting will submit the highest scoring plans to the legislature and apportionment board for their consideration. Here is your chance for civic participation in the democratic process. To submit your plan, go to drawthelineohio.org. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Ms. Gilbert. There may be questions for the witness, and it appears there are Representative Letson.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and Ms. Gilbert, thank you very much for coming and testifying today. One of the questions that I have, especially since we are on the road, is do you think that it would be helpful to have a second round of these type of mobile hearings once maps have been produced and proposed, so that we exhibit those maps throughout the state of Ohio prior to their adoption?
Well, certainly the League would always favor as much public education and awareness as is possible. So yes.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Other questions from senators or representatives for the witness? She's already in her seat, so it's too late anyway.
That's smart.
Our next witness from Allen County, Ohio Patriots, Vicki Reeder. Is Reeder here?
Good morning. I'm here today representing our chairman, Bob Thompson, who is out of state on business today, and he's prepared this for me to read to you today. House State Government and Election Subcommittee and Redistricting and Senate Select Committee on Redistricting. From Robert J. Thompson, Chairman, Allen County, Ohio Patriots. A special word of thanks is expressed by the Ohio County Patriots, Allen County, Ohio Patriots, to the ladies and gentlemen of the House Subcommittee and the Senate Select Committee for your dedicated service to the citizens of Ohio. We, the members of the Allen County, Ohio Patriots, wish to maintain Ohio's 4th U.S. Congressional District as it currently exists without change. This district, as currently drawn, serves its citizens well. Currently represented by U.S. Congressman Jim Jordan and previously by former Congressman Oxley, the conservative political climate of the region has been and is well represented. The Ohio 4th U.S. House District is geographically grouped with like-minded citizens from Auglaize to Richland and Hancock to Champaign counties. These counties are predominantly rural and agricultural, intermingled by small cities and villages. All of these counties reflect traditional bedrock values. As an example, the current representation exhibited by Congressman Jordan is exactly the leadership we, the citizens of the 4th District, appreciate and desire. His special efforts and untiring direction in attempting to fix the large and ever-growing debt in the United States government has incurred is admired and appreciated. His grasp of the magnitude of the issues involved and the tenacity required to drive change is a gift to all who live in this district. It is the strongly held desire of the Allen County, Ohio Patriots that no change to the district be effected. Thank you for your time. Robert J. Thompson, Chairman of the Allen County, Ohio Patriots.
Thank you, Ms. Reeder. Are there any questions for the witness? Representative Lexon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you very much for coming. Do you have any idea how many times counties are cut apart in order to make the 4th district? How many times counties are split in order to make that district?
Yes, sir. Today I'm here offering a statement on behalf of Mr. Thompson, and I would yield to my colleague Andy Burkholder, our Vice Chairman, if he can respond to your question.
No, I don't know that either.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for being here on behalf of Mr. Thompson. We appreciate that and understand that you are doing a service to your community and to him by being here and standing up in front of the group. Thank you once again.
Ms. Reeder, there may be other questions. And just to answer Representative Lexon's questions, the 4th District has one county, Wyandotte, which is divided. The rest of the district are all complete counties within the district. And that map doesn't have the counties, but there are several congressional maps available that would have that information on it. So, are there other questions or comments for this witness? Representative Sykes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and Ms. Reeder. Thank you very much for your testimony. I realize you're just representing an organization here, but maybe someone might be able to answer the question. The 4th District, like many of the districts in our state, have lost population, and we may have to expand the district in order to be representative of the population percentage that we need in each of the districts. Do you have a suggestion or recommendation on where to expand? What areas might you want to include if you needed to expand the size of the district?
I would yield to my colleague, Andy Burkholder, who's the Vice Chairman of the Allen County, Ohio Patriots.
I think we'll have Mr. Burkholder get up and speak next, and
okay.
if that's okay. But I want to make sure Representative Sykes or anyone else finishes their questions for this witness.
Yes, that's fine.
Is that fine?
Yes.
Okay. Does anyone have any other questions for this witness? Thank you, Mr. Reeder. We'll call Mr. Burkholder forward then. He's the Vice Chairman of the Allen County, Ohio Patriots. Mr. Burkholder. No.
And did you want me to address the question first?
No, go ahead with your statements and we'll follow up with questions.
Okay. The main reason that we decided as an organization to come to this meeting was to just lend our support for Congressman Jordan. And as I began preparing my statement and thoughts, collecting my thoughts on what I would say, I at first thought, why do I personally support Congressman Jordan? But my thoughts were quickly changed to, why is Congressman Jordan good for the United States of America? And obviously I don't need to tell you that we're in the midst of a crisis, and in crisis leadership needs to be principled, needs to be courageous, needs to be standing on their values and be steadfast, which we believe Congressman Jordan has been. We need men who are full of character, men who are willing to sacrifice their lives, their fortune, their sacred honor, and not simply toe party lines, which obviously there's a time and a place for standing where you stand and standing with those that you're standing with, but there's also a time and a place to stand alone. Sometimes that's necessary. And those who are simply towing party lines are not doing what we've asked them to do. In his farewell address, George Washington said, "The nation which endures in habitual hatred or habitual fondness is a slave to its authority and to its affection, neither of which is sufficient to lead it astray from its duty and its interest." So we're not looking for habitual fondness for a party, but habitual fondness for our nation. And we feel that Congressman Jordan has been one of the few who has listened not only to his constituents, he has spent time with us, spent time in our meetings, spent time talking to us, but he's listened not only to his constituents, but also to his principles. And in a time when it was not popular, in a time when it was not looked upon very nicely by some, he stood firm on his ground, stood where he thought was the right place to be, and we support him for that. Time and again he's done this, and time and again we've lent him our support, and we will continue to lend him our support.
Thank you, Mr. Burkholder. Questions or comments from Mr. Burkholder? Representative Sykes, did you want to pose your previous question?
Yes. I first want to say that Congressman Jordan sounded like a kind of guy I'd like. You might have to change my opinion on him. The question is that the population in the 4th District has decreased. And according to the rules and guidelines, we may have to add more people to that district. Do you have some suggestions or recommendations on where the district might expand to include more people?
No, I'm not prepared to answer that. I haven't looked at those issues. And, that's what you guys are here for. And we just came to let you know what the people of this district feel and where we stand.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Other, Mr. Burkholder, any other questions by any senators or representatives for the witness? Seeing none, thank you very much for coming out today, Mr. Burkholder. Appreciate your participation. Okay. Our next witness is Daniel Griffith. Mr. Griffith here? Right here. And Mr. Griffith does have a written statement, and it's conserving paper, so we have these on half sheets rather than full sheets. We don't do this in Columbus. We just fill a bunch of people's money. What the heck, Yeah. It's a half sheet, not so. Wait till you get the statement until we're ready.
Wait till you get the next
Yeah.
My name is Daniel Griffith. I live in Caledonia, Ohio.
Mr. Griffith, if you can hold on just a second. And for those of the members of the public who may have entered after the hearing started, if you'd like to speak, and again, you don't have to have a written statement, you come down and see Lisa here who's passing out the papers, fill out a witness slip, and you can feel free to testify at that time. Go ahead, Mr. Griffith.
My name is Daniel Griffith. I live in Caledonia, Ohio, which is Marion County. It's in the 4th Congressional District, and I'm here to voice my strong support for Congressman Jordan. Congressman Jordan is, I think, represents our nation well, certainly our district. He stands for the Constitution. He's always available to his constituents. He never lets an email or a phone call go unanswered. My statement is regarding to a dispatch article that I find quite disturbing. On July 28th and 29th, the Columbus Dispatch had articles titled "Payback May Be Coming for Congressman's Disloyalty" and his defiance spelled doom for Jordan, written by Joe Howlett, that contained several comments from, quote, 2 Republican sources deeply involved in configuring new Ohio congressional districts. These anonymous sources made repeated inflammatory statements about my congressman, Representative Jordan, because he disagreed with House Speaker John Boehner's debt ceiling plan. Some quotes from these anonymous sources are, "Jim Jordan's boneheadedness has kind of informed everybody's thinking." Let's see, or a couple here. The worst is where they attributed a false quote to Congressman Jordan, which says, "I'm a jerk and I deserve to be punished," said one of these anonymous Republican sources. These statements are unprofessional and unacceptable. Persons in a position of authority should not use extortive statements to garner support for a particular fiscal plan just because they have the ability to do so. And I would just ask that these 2 anonymous sources would come out of the closet and claim their statements and explain to them why you would stab a fellow Republican in the back like this, and not just a Republican, but a Republican that's been acting like one, that's standing for what the party stands for, standing for the Constitution, doing what he thinks is right and what he campaigned on. We elected him to do exactly what he did, and very happy with him. And I understand the district has to change a little bit, and then my comment would be, why not add the rest of Wyandotte County, maybe Crawford County, and part of Delaware County if you need more population. Those are places I encounter in my everyday life. I know people there, and it's similar to, to our district.
Thank you, Mr. Griffith. Questions or comments for the witness? Senator Faber.
Yeah, I would just thank the witness for coming in and sharing his testimony. I'm still trying to figure out who is close to the redistricting process that could have been attributed to those quotes, but I can tell you that they didn't come from either Representative Huffman or our offices, as we were very clear in with anybody who asked us. But the fact of the matter is, as I made clear to a number of sources, I think whoever made the quotes don't understand the redistricting process very well. So it is a difficult conundrum when you have an area like the 4th District to change that very much.
And just to add, there are a lot of people who want to be important when it comes to political issues. And one of the things they do is claim some deep involvement or important role in some particular process. And when they don't really have an important role, they then want to be quoted anonymously, so people can figure out, well, maybe they don't have anything to do with it at all. So one of the things to keep in mind, and there are a variety of opinions about how redistricting should go, but this committee, as we've been schooled and have these issues explained to us by particularly the Legislative Service Commission, has specific legal criteria which we have to take into account in forming these districts. And I would guide everyone. There's a handout over on the table to our left here with a presentation by the Legislative Service Commission, which was given to us a couple weeks ago in Columbus, which lists these legal criteria: population being equal in number, compactness, the Civil Rights Act, all of those things that need to be taken into account.
I read it was in the second article, the follow-up of the Columbus Dispatch, that some of these Republican insiders were thinking of purposefully including a large Democratic area just to try to throw Congressman Jordan in the woods. And like you said, I say it's none of you. I don't know who it is, but whoever out there is, plotting something like that, I think it's pretty sleazy. I wish they wouldn't remain anonymous. I wish they'd explain their position.
Well, you'll have to take that up with the Columbus Dispatch, not this committee, because they're the ones who published it. But as I was saying, I would suggest everyone take a look at the LSC presentation, because I think that's very helpful in understanding these issues. It's certainly been an educational process for me over the last several months, understanding what goes into this process. Any other questions? Representative Syke.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Just a comment. I'd like to just note that it is commendable to have constituents come out and speak on behalf of a fellow legislator. It's commendable and it's well taken. So thank you for your contribution.
I appreciate it. Thank you, Representative. Senator?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to follow up what Senator Faber and Representative Huffman had said. I don't know who the anonymous sources are either, but I seriously doubt that they're anyone who's sitting up here today. And we do have a lot of criteria we're going to be looking at, and those criteria are going to guide our decisions, and nothing else.
Anyone else? Thank you. All right, thank you for your testimony, Mr. Griffith. Appreciate you coming out here today. Our next witness is Mr. Michael Wolf. Mr. Wolf here?
Present.
Just come on forward.
My name is Michael Wolf, and I'm from Richwood, Ohio, which is Steve Schreiber's district. And I'm here today to urge you to preserve Congressman Jim Jordan's district. He has worked tirelessly to uphold the wishes of those who sent him to Congress. The vote against the status quo of borrowing 43 cents on the dollar is an honorable thing. And Jim Jordan has been consistent in this debt debate. The unnamed sources have lashed out at Jordan for having a district where he is safe. That is, he actually has to stick to and defend a set of promises to his constituents because he doesn't have the easy out of being forced to make two sets of contradictory promises. Jim Jordan is a part of the solution for what's wrong with American politics. And how great is it that an Ohio politician is part of the solution? Any redistricting that might in any way punitively alter Congressman Jordan's district would be a slap in the face to anyone standing on integrity. And I know that the ladies and gentlemen here would like to stand on integrity, as that's a touchstone of what has made America great in the past, is men and women standing on integrity and using the proper procedural methods to create the districts. And don't we want to promote congressmen who do what they were sent to Washington to do? And maybe Jim Jordan is a bonehead, as the source says, but we need boneheads to stand up for our rights. For us as Ohioans, men and women of courage that refuse to compromise what they know to be right. Regardless of what those anonymous people say, they don't deserve to be punished. They deserve to be defended at all costs. Why can't we educate and inform and organize and work for the day when, no matter how Ohio is sliced up, it might be safe for a rep like Jordan, constituents that know their rights, that are not afraid to stand up for them, and that would elect politicians and representatives that would stand on their convictions and beliefs. A rep who is serious about the ongoing crisis of our nation's indebtedness. It is painfully evident that politics as usual over the past 100 years has gotten America into this fiscal quagmire. It wasn't one administration, it wasn't the last two administrations, it's a whole series of Congresses and politicians and all kinds of places working to get us to where we are now. Altering Jordan's district in any kind of a punitive fashion would be a painful step in the wrong direction. And since we've already heard some of the quotes, I don't believe I need to repeat any of those about the boneheadedness or the jerk and deserving to be punished. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Wolf. Thank you for your testimony. Do we have questions or comments from any representatives or senators for Mr. Wolf regarding this testimony? Representative Ledson.
Very quickly, are you any relation to one John Wolf, who is the leader of the Columbus Dispatch?
I recognize that name from the editorial page. I think it's all but no, not to the extent of my knowledge. I'm sure if you go back far enough, everyone in this room is related.
Good cover.
Especially as we find out in West Central Ohio, everybody in our area is certainly related. Probably talking to somebody's cousin or brother.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, any other questions for the witness? Okay, very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
There are if there's, those are all the witnesses that we have so far who have submitted witness slips who would like to testify. There is another person here, two other people there in the back. So go ahead and get those witness slips and bring those forward. As they're doing that, I did want to commend everyone here also. As I do not believe that it's up and running, but the Secretary of State's office is creating a website which will allow people to go on the website and draw maps or otherwise give information. And we're going to take that information into account as we go forward in this process. I don't think we have a representative of the Secretary of State's office here today, but it's my understanding that that website is supposed to be ready in the second week in August. So maybe start looking next week and for some information from Secretary Husted's office. Our next witness then is our old friend and law professor, Bruce French.